Okay. So what we're going to be going over here is a topic that we've gone over before or that you previously know, a little bit of background knowledge on it. But what we want to do is dive into nutrition, and give you just some basic nutritional guidelines and tips so that you know what to do when you're going to the gym, when you're not going to the gym, what to eat when you're outside of the gym, and things like that so you can stay on track with your goals. And then if you guys have any questions, let me know. Send me a direct message and I'll let you know what you should be doing in those certain situations. But the first one we want to look at is your water intake. So the body's made up about 60% of water, and that's with different organs and bones, as well as your brain. Everything runs on water. So when with that being said, if you're not properly hydrated, you're not running at your optimal potential, and that's going to be your performance when you come into the gym, your workouts, how they're dictated and how you get through them, as well as your energy levels. Sometimes you're going to be fatigued during a workout, and it might not even be because you didn't have pre-workout or caffeine or a certain amount of meals. It might be because you're just dehydrated. So make sure you increase your water intake because this is going to help you metabolize body fat. It's going to help reduce and prevent muscular spasms when you're working out so that you can perform all the way throughout your whole workout, as well as it's going to help your mental clarity and make better decisions as you work out or even within life. Also, the average male is going to need around 125 ounces of water, which is a gallon, and women are going to need about 75% of a gallon. It's going to be 96 ounces on average, um, and probably more than that, once you start working out, because you'll start sweating and things like that. But what water does is, just for body fat purposes, it enters the fat molecule, and then once it enters that fat molecule, it helps you disperse it, and then you get to drop it off even faster. Um, Things that are going to dry you out and dehydrate you are like alcohol and caffeine consumption. So just make sure, if you're dehydrated from those things, that you're rehydrating immediately as fast as possible. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want me to dig in even deeper to water, just let me know. We'll go over that. But there's a lot more to water. But your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats, and what do these things mean? With your protein, carbs, and fats, first, right off the bat, your protein, plain and simple, there's chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, aged cheese, lean meats, red meats, beans, black beans, garbanzo beans, kidney beans, lentils. Uh, there's a whole list, a bunch of different groups, and there's a bunch more. But these are the ones that we're going to primarily be consuming. Chicken is almost always a staple in the diets that we go ahead and write out because it's just little fat, very high protein. Now, what is the protein going to do for you? As you can see on the slides, it's going to help you lose fat, gain some muscle. It'll help you with recovery so that you're not completely damaged all the time. So if we hit legs on Monday, you're going to be ready to hit legs on Thursday or that next following week. You won't be sore for 5 days. So those are things to think about. Now, other things that we want to keep going into with the protein is that the lean meats are going to be your primary source. If you're vegetarian based, you're going to have to look for other options like those kidney beans. There's some vegetables that will have protein for you, whole wheat tortillas, and as well as carbs. Some of the carbs will have enough protein for you. But we'll go over to the next one. But I think there's one missing, Greek yogurt, and then your carbs. So the carbs are going to give you a sufficient amount of energy, while the protein builds all the muscle mass. The carbs are filling in storages within your muscle so that you can properly put on more muscle mass. They also aid with recovery. They also give you energy. Now, those you just have to be careful because they mess with your blood sugar levels. So that's your glycemic index. So with carbs and fruit and sugar comes energy. When that goes way up, it drops off as well. So that's how you crash as far as energy goes. So when you're eating carbohydrates, we want minimally processed, we want high fibrous carbs, so multigrain breads, brown rice, kidney beans, whole wheat pasta, rices, wild rice, black rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, those type of things, as well as some hot cereals, because they're gonna have some fiber, which are gonna go ahead and digest a little bit slower and won't give you a huge spike in sugar, as well as your fruits. You can have about 2 to 3 servings of fruits a day. So blueberries in the morning with some mango in the evening and some watermelon at night if you choose. Those are just going to bring up the sugar a little bit more, but they're easier digestible because they are organic. As far as like eating a donut, your sugar is going to go high up and then you're never going to have a chance to burn that off unless you go ahead and run 5K right after. But these whole grains are going to be what you want to look for, and whole grains types of pastas. Both of these categories are going to have a little bit of protein for you, as well as some fiber and a sufficient amount of carbs that are going to give you enough energy to go ahead and aid your performance when you're in the gym as well. And so you don't go flat and then not have enough energy to push through a hard workout. Now your fats are going to regulate your hormonal level. So that's just going to have you be able to even promote muscle mass, grow as far as cellular wise, muscle mass, hair, everything, nails, skin. So this is what actually runs the entire operation of your body. But avocados, coconuts, kinds of butters, oils, seeds, cheeses, red meats, higher fats, meats like steak and things like that, those will have more fat in them as far as saturated and trans fat, but that would be a whole nother slideshow, so we won't dig into that. But when you're on a lower calorie diet, you'll probably be asked to do I can't believe it's not butter or Pam sprays. Those do lower your fats, but you still need to consume maybe some almonds or some seeds to go ahead and keep your hormones regulated, because too low fat diet is just going to cause some issues and then stall some body fat. And then fat does help you burn some body fat off as far as old fat that's not supposed to be there, because good and regular cholesterol regulate each other. But proteins are going to be the continuous building blocks of life, and you need to hit a certain amount of protein that you need a day. That one's going to cause more thermogenic effects. So eating more protein will help you burn more body fat faster, gain some muscle tone, and then recover from any soreness or injuries. Your carbohydrates, like I said, they're going to be the energy, and then your fats are going to go ahead and just run your entire body the way that it's supposed to be ran efficiently. Now, as we keep going into vegetables and things like that, these are our micronutrients. There's green vegetables, there's red vegetables, there's blue and purples, and then there's orange and yellows. So each one has their own benefits, and yes, they are necessary to your life. So they go ahead and fight free radicals. What does that mean? Disease preventative. Well, if you don't want to die from coronary heart disease and high blood pressure and diabetes and hypertension, which is one of the top three leading causes of death, if you don't want to go out like that, then you want to start consuming more vegetables. So oranges and lemons and limes are going to be more for your immune system. Those red vegetables are going to be more for your blood flow, as well as your heart, as well as the blue and purple vegetables like blueberries and eggplants and things like that. Those are going to be lowering your blood sugar so your insulin levels are regulated. And then the green vegetables are going to be your calcium sources. So those are good for your bone density so you don't get osteoporosis and arthritis. We want to sprinkle these in 4 times a day, about 4 cups of vegetables. If you're a male, you need about 8, so double. and then we're going into supplementation. So multivitamin, fish oil, probiotic, and protein powder. Well, the first three, multivitamin, fish oil, protein powder. Those are going to be your essential. Those are the ones that we want to look for right off the bat. We want to look for some sort of badges on these supplements, like an NSF approval or third-party testing. Each one of these things, they go ahead and just make sure that when you pay for that supplement, you're actually paying for the supplement that's within, that you're not getting mislabeled brands that go ahead or not come out to have the recommendations that they're supposedly saying that they have. The multivitamin is going to fill in any nutritional deficiencies that you're not getting within your diet. So those vegetables that we were talking about, that prevent those preventative diseases and things like that. That's what your multivitamin does. Now your fish oils, those are going to be regulating your cholesterol, lubricating your bones and joints, preventing coronary heart disease, cardiovascular diseases, as well as giving you the oils that you need from fish, seeds, and nuts and things like that to lubricate the bones and the joints. And then your protein, we went over protein, just going to help you put on some muscle mass, loosen body fat, and things like that. The greens, the oranges, we went over all the supplementation when we get into portion control. Fistful of vegetables, palm size of protein, as you can see in each depiction. Now for men, it's double. For women, it's single. If you consume this much, this will be your maintenance calories. So for a woman, this might be 1,500 calories, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For a male, this will be around 2,000 calories if you eat double. And then if we go into the next one, sleep. So the minimum requirement for sleep is 6 hours, which is very low. If you skip out on your sleep, your body knows. So you're going to be backed up on sleep. So even if you slept in for one day, it's not going to make up for the entire lack of sleep. When you're lacking sleep, you're going to be more anxious. You're going to continue eating a lot more before you're even full. This meaning that you're going to continue to overeat, and then you're not going to naturally know when to stop or when you're full because your body is sleep deprived. Sleep requires, sleeping, just to get into that REM sleep, you want to make sure that you're sleeping into deep, deep sleeps consistently and then at the same times so your body can get used to it. My advice to getting consistent sleep is to get into a wake up routine and a nighttime routine. So if you're waking up in the morning, pack up your clothes the night before to go to the gym if you're going to the gym. And then if you're going to bed, instead of using your phone or anything, try to read something right before bed that has absolutely nothing to do with your entire day or clients or work or anything